joins Kiadi Mundi looking coneheads, and you know what? I'm giving a special shout out to all my Wookiees and Wookiee lovers out there. You know what you're watching? In case you don't know, you're watching Arnold Holonet News, the only news you'll ever need because you have no other choice. Capital Games, what are you doing over there? Okay, I feel like that was okay. We got to work our way to that, Gary. I agree. If you don't understand where my rage is coming from the deepest part of my souls, well, we'll find out today. Leave a like if you want the good stuff first. Leave a like if you want the bad stuff first. Let's go ahead, take a look at that like button. All right, we're gonna do the good news first, people. Here's a summary of what we have today. We have a new Lightspeed Bundle for Chewbacca. We also have our first look at Padawan Sabine, as well as a little bit of Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano stuff. Furthermore, we have an Imperial Remnant Assault Battle, and you guys are gonna love this one. Oh boy, we're saving the best for last. TIE Dagger buff. What are they doing over there? What are they doing? I think a lot of you guys are gonna get screwed. I mean, everyone's gonna get screwed over, whether you like it or not, I feel like. Anyways, welcome to Galaxy of Heroes, folks, where the paywall's high and the screwing over's also pretty high. I don't know, that's the best I can come up with. Let's get to work, people. And I said this yesterday. Sometimes I don't understand CG. Today, I really don't. But anyways, first things first, besides I am the realist here, of course, we have ourselves a brand new Chewbacca Lightspeed Bundle! Yeah, I know you guys love spending your money. I get it. Yesterday, we talked about how Lightspeed Bundles are back. We have Starkiller that made a return, probably because, you know, the Datacron's here, and it's probably gonna be really good. We also had Shadows of the Empire. In case you did not see my pinned comment in the video, I couldn't buy, like, if I wanted to buy the Lightspeed Bundle for myself, I couldn't. I only saw the gifting option. Restarted the game, and I saw I could have bought the Lightspeed Bundles. That's good. So for those that want to buy and not have to hope someone gives it to you, you can buy those too. But some of you Lightspeed Bundle aficionados are like, Arnold, my dear Arnold, I already have those Lightspeed Bundles. Give me something new. Well, here you go. Brand new Chewbacca Lightspeed Bundle. And to answer 3 of the questions, I don't know when this is coming out. I don't know what it's going to contain, and I don't know how much it's going to cost. So we don't know that yet. However, if they're showing up in the data mine, generally means it's right around the corner, people. So what I'm hoping for to get good value out of this, because getting Chewbacca isn't any complicated feat, especially nowadays where you can get Grief Karga, Mando, or whatever inside the Galactic Warship. That's pretty insane. What I'm wondering, if they want to provide some value to this, they maybe might go down the route like the Night Sister Lightspeed Bundle, where they pretty much give all the Night Sisters except Great Mothers, Morgan Elsbeth, and Marin. And I know a lot of you people want that Night Sister Lightspeed Bundle back, seeing how great the Great Mothers are, and it's got things like the Acolyte, Initiate, things you maybe never wanted to have to spend time gearing up. They might go down the route of giving most of the bounty hunters, even though you only need 5 at like gear 12 or less for Chewie. They might give you the whole entire faction, more or less. That would be pretty cool. So I can't promise you that. Have to wait and see. My only issue is, I said, a lot of these bounty hunters are pretty easy farmable. A lot of you guys already have them, but there might be some bounty hunters you don't have, and you're gonna want to pick up this Lightspeed Bundle. So I'm guessing maybe later on today, we're expecting an update dropping Balin's Skull and all that other fun stuff, and the TIE Dagger buff, which is more of a nerf to Chimera. But anyways, we'll get there. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Next up, we've been talking about this for a minute. We've been speculating. It'd be very weird if Capital Games brings out Ahsoka. We have Ezra, but Sabine was also kind of a focal point of the Ahsoka Tano TV show. It'd be a missed opportunity if there wasn't a new Sabine. Well, here you go. We have a new, as you can see through the text of the file, Padawan Sabine that is making an appearance. So we've been following the data mines. There are 2 new characters coming soon. And I said it's likely going to be more marquees that are probably gonna be required for Ahsoka Tano's requirements, or just required for the team one way or another. I was like, there's no way Enoch and Death Repridia and whatever, that's all there's gonna be to it. CG, again, there's a difference between being positive and being realistic. I'm being realistic. I feel like I'm positive, you know, most times when the game deserves it, of course. But let's be real. They generally like releasing new events when you don't have enough time to farm the stuff free to play. I mean, we're getting Balin, and most people can't farm the stuff free to play yet. I'm sure they're gonna drop the next requirements, you know, for Balin today, but nonetheless, we're probably gonna get a new Padawan Sabine. I'm assuming we're seeing this in the files now because the Balin event's probably gonna have Sabine to fight. But again, I'm pretty sure, based on what I'm saying, we're probably gonna see her as something you can spend your 3 wacky numbers on to unlock her around the corner. But nonetheless, here's her little portrait icon. Almost, I mean, besides it being like a total of 2 pixels, looks pretty good, right? And then we have our little rocket thing that she's got here. She's got her lightsaber. We're going to show some animations that the data miners are able to pull out. As I said, it'd be a big missed opportunity. You're bringing Ahsoka Ezra not to have Sabine. Very confident now, especially. I don't think we have to really speculate much longer. But we also have a little bit of Ahsoka Tano. And if you look through the files, she's called Ahsoka Tano Gray. Now, we've been talking about this, that, you know, when she's coming to the game, they'll probably do like a Gandalf thing. Ahsoka Tano the gray, Ahsoka Tano the white. Very confident we're going to see something like that here, where we're going to have a gray version. That's probably what she's going to start off as, and maybe her ultimate, kind of like Master Luke, transforms into another character. You'll probably get yourself an Ahsoka Tano the white then. And here we go. We have a couple other abilities here that are showing up here. Got her lightsabers, but yeah, you guys probably want to see some animation. So in the data miners, they're able to pull up some of these things here. Here's Ahsoka Tano here. But they're just going to kind of roll through her basic ability. I believe this is the basic right here. Just like, looks like me when I was a kid, finding a stick in the backyard, just flailing it around. I mean, listen, that's where all of our initial Jedi training began. And now here comes her first special. Going to go ahead, do a roundhouse kick to the face. And then we're going to roll the second special. So keep in mind, I'm assuming that for Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano, these might be the animation they'll be used, but I'm assuming the abilities are gonna be way different. The actual, like, what the kit does, it's probably gonna be much different. Poor Lobot just getting banged up here. Man, Lobot having a rough night. The ladies here. Here comes Padawan Sabine with her basic ability right here. She only has one special ability. And again, I'm pretty much, you know, assuming that these are gonna be the abilities we're gonna see in the Balin event. She only's got one special. I mean, again, I'm 98% certain she's gonna be acquirable for you guys out there. I don't know if she's only gonna have one special, so don't expect this to be the full kit. It could be, it might not. There you go. A little Mandalorian wrist blaster there, rocket blaster. Watch out for those wrist rockets. Oh boy, poor Lobot. He's having a rough day with the ladies. I understand, man. I understand. Anyways, there you go. So again, I'm pretty much certain, again, we're seeing these initially because of the Balin event, but I feel very confident we're gonna be getting Padawan Sabine as one of the next two characters, and I'm hoping Hu Yang finds his way to the game. That'd be a lot of fun. Now we have one more other thing I want to show you guys. We have an Imperial Remnant Assault Battle that's coming around the corner. Let me scroll up in my chat here. Gary forgot to pull it up, a complete idiot. So we have a new Assault Battle coming. When you open up this file, the text of the file is called Events AB Imperial Remnant. So it looks like an Imperial Remnant Assault Battle is coming. You can see that, right, Gary? Hide my ugly mug for just hide me. I know no one needs to see me this frequently. If you check right here, right there, yeah, AB Imperial Remnant Assault Battle. So, yeah. Well, we're gonna get a newsletter soon. It looks like probably today it's gonna come in the data mine files. We're seeing all this stuff in the data mine showing that there's gonna be a newsletter, and it makes sense why they've been letting us get access to these characters pretty early, you know, because they want to build us to the Assault Battle. And I don't know again when it's going to happen, what the contents are going to be. It could easily be something of the matter like Duel of the Fates, where it was a lot of good stuff baked in there. I wonder if that's like their new era of Assault Battles to get people really invested into getting into these new characters. We'll have to wait and see, but hey, it's good to know that your remnants, besides being in for GL Ahsoka, they're going to be nice for other subsequent things beyond just unlocking her right away. And now we get to, oh boy. I had to, before I read this, when we were testing out the Punish You One, very quickly, Capital Games put out a post saying, hey, we're going to be investigating the Punish You One doing very well against Leviathan. I had a tinfoil hat theory that this was all orchestrated. CG was looking for a way to get the power out of control for this ship, and it's like, oh, this is a problem. We got to do something. I said that they're probably gonna, you know, maybe do something where they're gonna start stargating the abilities for, you know, non-capital ships. I feel like I was a little off, but kind of right. I feel like the Punish You One, they had plans already to do all of these things. They just wanted a reason to go way overboard with these Leviathan changes. This is a massive overcorrection. I don't know how to best describe this. Punishing One's overperforming against Leviathan, therefore we need to nerf Chimera. What? Now, it's not, to be clear, it's not technically a direct nerf to Chimera. Like, Chimera's not getting nerfed itself, but they don't want to nerf an actual unit. They want to just buff something, which in turn nullifies the other thing. So it's still kind of a nerf if you want to go just do the roundabout logic there. Anyways, let's read this. I'm very upset about this, and I'll explain this. Not so much about losing the Chimera counter, but more, CG, you got to test your game out, man. This has been a thing for a long time now. People invested multiple Relic 9s, and the Leviathan and the Chimera. This is an absolute nightmare of a situation. I'll be honest, I don't think they care. I really don't. They're gonna push through with it, but I'll share my 2 pieces, 2 cents, whatever. 2 cents, 2 pieces, 2 Mei-Lu runs, whatever. TIE Dagger update part 3. Hi, Holotable Heroes. As promised, we are making adjustment to the TIE Dagger in order for it to better perform in mirror match against another Leviathan. The logic of this whole thing was so weird. There was a 3-post thing. The punishing one was first overperforming against Leviathan. Part 2, we want to fix the mirror matches. And it's like, what? Huh? The optimal counter of Sith Fighter leaves Leviathan exposed to punishing one. Okay, then don't put Sith Fighter down! Like, why is it they have to like baby people? Again, let people do what they want with their Legos. You know, what was that, the Lego movie? They're like using the Craggle. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, then you guys don't know what I'm talking about. They're using the Craggle because you can't use the Legos for anything else except that. It's the logic of all this is just all over the place. As I said, sometimes they just don't understand their genius. Running TIE Dagger counters punishing one, and now should also not be a liability in a mirror match. Then just it's gosh. Okay, oh my gosh. This like over parenting of like the meta. It's just okay if you want to do a mirror match. I'll be honest, I feel like my favorite mirror match, if anything, is starting with the Mark 6 Interceptor. If anything, I don't like Leviathan mirror match, but if I do it, generally I do a Mark 6 starting. I don't even understand this. So I've been trying to follow it. Leviathan's getting beaten by punishing one. Therefore, we're gonna buff the TIE Dagger to stop the Chimera. No, hold on, I messed it up. The Leviathan's being beaten by the punishing one. Therefore, we gotta fix the mirror matches. Therefore, we gotta nerf the Chimera working against it. It's like, what are we doing here? It's just, I feel like they're just making up excuses. And they don't, you know, they're gonna update the game, and you know, I know you guys are gonna buy the Lightspeed Bundle, so they're gonna be like, huh, we win again. We win again. See, they were smart to do all this Lightspeed Bundle stuff alongside with this. Anyways, let's just read the new TIE Dagger ability here. Actually, let's just go to the summary. It's gonna be a lot easier just doing this. Here are the 2 changes to the TIE Dagger. The most obvious one being the new line being added of, if the allied capital ship is Sith, while TIE Dagger is active, enemy dark side ships can't gain turn meter, including the capital ship. I mean, technically, they should say can't gain bonus turn meter, but all right, we're not going to split hairs like that. And so you can't get turn meter. So let's just pause there. What does that mostly affect? Chimera, the counter that's been in the game for about a year now. A little over a year. That's their problem. Okay. All right. We're going to talk about the implications of fighting this in a second. The other change is doubling the max protection gain from 20% to 40%. And my guess is this is trying to make it more difficult for the punishing one to blow through the TIE Dagger faster. Again, this is all hypothetical. I'll be testing it out. We'll see what it actually looks like. These changes will not require a player to invest in their TIE Dagger. They are purely additions to the ability and not new abilities or new ability tiers. We feel that both of these changes will cement the Leviathan as a fleet that is difficult to counter. My brothers from another capital Gamesian mother, you could have just done this when you made the ship. Like, the Leviathan was the worst release unit in the game, period. It underwent, what was it, 2 buffs, bunch of fixes after release. This is gonna be the 3rd buff to it or whatever. I'm losing track, people. This is embarrassing. And again, this is a game where people are investing resources. And when you have something that's been solidified in the game for a year now, okay, people are going to see that like, all right, I'm going to invest in this counter. I'm going to invest in these ships to bolster that top end fleet. And then you do this a year later. This is basically, hold on. As of all things, we will monitor and change, adjust accordingly if necessary, but we are currently happy. I bet you're going to be happy because you know why they're happy? Because your Relic 9 Sith fighter, if they're really trying to go where Sith Assassin's not the starting unit, your Relic 9 Sith Assassin, useless, stupid. I'm really ticked because I did not enjoy taking Sith Assassin to Relic 9, but because after a little bit of time that Leviathan was finally solidified in the game, after all the fixes, like, all right, Sith Assassin's the go-to. My Relic 9, and a lot of you guys who Relic 9 it, besides giving it to Bane, the Sacrificer, it's pretty much gone to waste. Furthermore, I only invested into a Relic 9 item because there was a big push, because if you wanted to get the maximum efficiency out of countering Leviathan with Chimera, a Relic 9 item kind of helped. I feel like my Relic 9 item is kind of trash now. Not trash, but it kind of feels useless now. And now I want to wait and see. It seems like if you want to make your Leviathan competitive, because mirror matches sound like to be hell now. It's going to be, if I'm understanding it, it's going to come down to the coin toss, who goes first. Because generally, you know, you had like Sith Fighter or Mark 6 or whatever to try to, you know, push the Terminator to your Leviathan first or quick so you can kind of outrun the opposing Leviathan. Sounds like it's going to be a coin toss now, right? It just sounds like, you know, because you can't use mods to really influence who goes first, and like, you know, like a Kenobi mirror match, right? You know, yeah, Kenobi mirror match, there's no bonus Terminator gains, but you can kind of control who goes first, or you can kind of prepare if the opposing enemy goes first. Here it sounds like, since there's no mods to influence the order of operations, it sounds like whoever's Leviathan wins the coin toss first. The Relic 9 Leviathan 6-stop mods, it sounds like they're going to win. That does not sound like a fun thing to do. It really doesn't. I already don't like Leviathan mirror matches. But again, anyways, it sounds like you might need a Relic 9 Sith Trooper if you want to have the best performing Leviathan fleet. So I lost 2 Relic 9s. If Sith Assassin's not going to be starting, and Iden's not going to be good against this. And now I'm going to need a Relic 9 again, you guys can test out your game. I'm not trying to be mean. This is your job. I don't know how the Leviathan got rolled out initially. Like, again, it's like they're blindfolded and they didn't even test out their fleet before releasing it. They do 2 buffs, a bunch of fixes, and now we have a 3rd buff that's going on here. And furthermore, what is with this babying of like, oh, the Sith fighter leaves Leviathan exposed to punishment, then just swap it out. Swap it out. Let the player do it. If they let them have the agency to make that decision. Then there's the overall conversation of the balance of the game and the meta. This is more of a, I'd say more of a debate. Everything else before is factual. Test out your game because you're nullifying people's investments because of your ineptitude. I don't know what's the right word. Your inadequacies, your incapability of testing out your game, your job. You're making millions of dollars a month. There's no excuse for this, especially a year later. You guys are like, oh wait, we should do something about this. But anyways, overall thing of the meta. I've always been a thing of, and again, some people don't like this, and I get it. Having a rock, paper, scissors thing where this can counter that, but this is really strong. You might need a little bit more to beat it, or even so having kind of like an underdog that requires a lot of investment to beat the top dog. And that was the Chimera, right? Chimera requires 2 conquest ships, a pretty good Relic Iden, Relic 9, rest in pepperoni. And then even so, you know, there was still a little bit of a dance where it wasn't always guaranteed. I mean, I had a pretty good success rate with it, but this over parenting of the meta, I'm getting really frustrated. The one thing that made this game so unique was, you know, the interesting investments people made around the meta, or even investing in stupid stuff that made them unique. It's like now everything has to be cookie cutter. Everything's got to be perfectly, again, it's literally like the Lego movie where you had Will Ferrell. It's like, no, there can't be no chaos, and everything has to be orderly. Everyone's got the same rosters. Everyone's got the same counters. Now, it's like they're chopping away, number one, the integrity of their capability to do this game. That's number one. Number two, the integrity of the meta, people's confidence and investing in these things out there. Yes, overall, I'm not a fan of this at all. I will say, again, I gotta wait and get my hands on this. I'm sure it's gonna come later on today. I'm assuming the negotiator thing, day 1 negotiator bad batch. I showed you guys you could beat Leviathan, you know, at least 2-shot it. I'm thinking negotiator could still 2-shot this thing. We'll have to wait and see. And I guess this solves the problem. You know, we were talking about the new addition to Punishing One. All right, where to use the scythe? Do you use it against Leviathan? Do you use it against Punishing? Well, now I don't know if it's going to work against Leviathan. So it looks like, all right, scythe is going to be used to counter Punishing One. Negotiator, if you're trying to do off-meta stuff, probably against Leviathan. And if you're talking about territory wars, this is going to be a little annoying if people got to resolve to mirror matches in order to have a consistent one-shot counter. So anyways, I'm just, boy, it just, this really disappoints me. Really disappoints me. Again, it's one thing if this game was, you know, completely free. It's just a guy in his basement. You know, he's eating his Cheetos after work. He's like, I'm making this game. It doesn't cost you guys anything to play the game. This is a game where you guys are spending you're first off spending real money. You're spending all the time and effort you've been investing into this game. And then they're doing this. This is kind of a game that's made over $2 billion. And this is incredibly embarrassing. But again, you're not going to find another Star Wars game to go to. So checkmate, baby, checkmate. Anyways, before I get even more riled up here, leave that like, comment down below. We'll be seeing all this stuff very shortly. And hopefully, as your King of Triple B gods get to mobile gaming, I will help you navigate through all these weird Leviathan changes here. Oh my gosh. But until we meet again, always remember how it's great to be in the Empire today.